Hey fish family, wish I had good news today in this video, but I don't, so stick around to find out what happened. Okay, so last time I had a tour of my 49-gallon bow front. Everything was going great until about a week ago. So I bought some new fish and I was going to make a video on it, and I ended up not using any of the footage because the fish died a few days later. It was a fish that I always wanted. It's this one right here. Yes, German blue ram. But what happened is, I think, since I really couldn't quarantine it, I don't have a spare tank, that it brought something nasty into my tank, and the results were not good. So if you guys all remember this tank from last time, you're probably wondering, hey, where are all the fish? Yeah, there's only a few left. Sad to say, whatever got into my tank killed about 90% of the fish in it. So right now what I have left in this tank are like 4 zebra danios. We're swimming around, pretty active. The remainder of my male guppies, there's about 7 of them left. As far as fish, that's all that's right. Oh no, there is 1 rummy nose around out of the original 7 that I had. He's around here somewhere, and he's not looking too good still, but at least he's alive. Other things that survived. Oh, can't forget about that. There are my two Siamese algae eaters. I don't know if you can see one of them. It's on the filter back here. He seems to be hiding. They both survived. One wasn't looking too good. I ended up quarantining that in a smaller tank. My shrimp tank, I moved stuff around. I've been treating 2 of my tanks, and she looks like she's gonna be all right. Let me see, I'll show you over here. I have it right now in my guppy sorority tank, and she looks a lot better. She was really really pale. The color, you can even see the black in her tail. She had white spots all over her eyes and her scales, and now she seems to be doing a whole lot better since I started treatment. So I've been just using ICX and General Cure, just to help knock that out. So I just applied, sorry for the quick movements there, just applied the last treatment today, did a water change. That's why the water's kind of blue. Hoping that after this, I'm gonna wait a few days, or probably a week, before I consider restocking and just see how things go. But yeah, that initial die-off was terrible. Like I said, I love my rummy nose. I lost all but 1, lost all my neon tetras, lost the black neons, lost all the cherry barbs, lost my albino bristle nose, which had been getting nice and big. But surprisingly, one of the things that survived too were the Amano shrimp. I swear those things could live in a toilet. These things are the hardiest shrimp ever. I don't see any out and about right now, but they were out earlier. I saw them. I've been watching them. So they seemed relatively unaffected by whatever was crawling through here. Now, one thing I have to disclose, unfortunately, is I think initially I may have made it worse than it actually was. Because initially there was, I could see spots on the cherry barb and the rummy nose. Like I said, after the ram died, I didn't have any ICX. Here's the thing. I didn't have any ICX. I had a bottle of IC medicine. I think it was Rid-X. But unfortunately, I don't even know how old that thing was. It didn't have an expiration date on it, so I thought, okay, maybe it's fine. But after the first treatment with that and turning off my filter, just leaving it on the the sponge filter, things just went south really quick. And by the time I was doing water changes to get that stuff out, and I mean the fish was just dropping like crazy over like since about last Wednesday or so. It's been about a week. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I think I made it far worse. I guess you can say I'm an inexperienced YouTuber because I didn't film any of this. This is the kind of stuff that I could have whipped out the camera. I mean, it was bad, but at least somebody else may have learned from my mistakes. The only picture I took of one of the rummy nose is this one right here. I was trying to get super close to actually for myself to see, not just to get a picture, but then to zoom in. So it's a bad picture, but you can see the white patches on it. I wish I had taken one of the cherry bark because his was different. It wasn't little white patches. It was a small little white dots all over the fish. And the same thing with the, the SAE, she just looked like milky. It was really weird. But she, like I said, she's doing a whole lot better. So, I mean, that's it. I was like devastated. I mean, when you lose that much of your tank in less than a week, it's just, and I can't even begin to explain. I had posted on Susan's Facebook group, and it was just, by then it was already too late. That it had tore through everything. All right, so lessons learned. This tank here, I never showed you guys, this is a 5.5 gallon. This used to be my cherry shrimp tank. I've since moved all the cherry shrimp into this 10-gallon tank, which has all my female guppies. So that's a positive note. I have my females separated, and there are some males in here because there's a fry, so there's bound to be some males, and then the remaining males, and then I can rebuild my colony because they breed prolifically. But I put all my cherry shrimp in there, and they seem to be coexisting just fine with the guppies. Let me see if I can get a good... They're always hiding in this riccia here. There's one. You barely see them. But they're all over this stuff. So, hopefully they'll continue breeding in there with a little bit more space. And said now the SAE's in here. She's hiding. I don't know where she... Oh no, she's behind that rock. And then also in here is another fish that I bought, and actually he was okay, and he's still okay, and he's usually hiding. It's a rubber lip pleco, so it's pretty cool to finally see one of those and be able to get one. This tank had no algae control or algae eaters, so as you can see, the algae kind of went out of control as soon as I added this new Nightcrew light. It was relatively no algae in here, and then I added this thing, and it just exploded. So far better light than what I had, but now I need to put some stuff in. That's why I put the shrimp to help control that. I know they don't control that much algae, but whatever. We'll see what happens. I probably should at some point, once I get the SAE out of there, which is probably going to be a bear to catch now, is maybe a small corridor, maybe a panda core or something, put in here to help with some of the stuff that settles on the bottom. And my lights just went off. Yay! Here, hold on. Sorry, turned on my lights. My automatic timer went off. And then in here, like I said, this was the 5.5 gallon. Got a makeshift matin filter set up here with another sponge filter on the back. It just feeds the water over. The sponge sucks it through these sponges and then up and around. I put what I called my canaries in the gold mine here, or in a coal mine. I just put a couple of guppies in here just to test the water. So this will, from now on, be my quarantine tank when I get new fish. I can quarantine them for a few weeks before I dump them into a big tank and infect everyone else. Live and learn, right, guys? Oh, one more thing. I did buy some of these. They are horned nerite snails. I thought they were pretty neat. They're really tiny, and they survive too, but they're kind of cool looking. I didn't expect, since they were so small, I didn't expect to see them at all anymore, but I see them quite a bit on the rocks and everything, so there's one more in here. They're kind of neat. Always kind of wanted one. They have these little spikes coming out of the shell. You can see right there. Let me zoom out. See a little black. So kind of neat. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, if you guys have experienced anything similar, hey, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. As always, if you like what you saw or learned something or learned, what not to do. It's a big lesson on what not to do. Don't use old meds. Quarantine your fish, especially when you get them from PetSmart or one of the big chain stores. They tend to be a little riskier than probably your local fish store, but yeah, you should always quarantine your fish. Or yeah, this might happen to you. Let me be the example for everyone. Okay? I'll take the hit on this one. So with that being said, keep on tanking and try not to kill any fish.